All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and man, the drama continues. Bob Arum responds to Terence Crawford's breach of contract lawsuit, and accuses him of extortion. Let's talk about that in this video. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video we're going to talk about Terence Crawford and Bob Arum and the big news in boxing today, which is that Terence Crawford is suing Bob Arum for breach of contract, but also accusing him of racial bias at the same time. Now, I've not read the case. I've not read any of the materials related to it. All I know is that it is a breach of contract, that he's suing him for breach of contract. And in the midst of it, he's making claims that Bob Arum basically did not treat him the same way as he treated other people because he was black. And he pointed out the track record of Bob Arum and black fighters, and how they are not treated as well as Latino fighters and Eastern European fighters, right? Bob Arum has responded to that, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video. And also very, very predictable reaction from people about this. Now, before I get into that though, please make sure, if you are not subscribed to the channel, to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so that you can be notified of when we release more videos, so that you can participate in the conversations that we have during our live streams and during the video and in the comment section of the video. Also, make sure you watch the video to the end. Okay, so Bob Arum says in an article that's been put up by Boxing Scene that he believes that this lawsuit is nothing but an attempt by Terence Crawford to extort money from Top Rank, and that he believes that the judge is going to see this case for what it is, which is just mean-spirited. And then he goes about talking about how he has been a champion for fighting for people of color throughout his entire professional career, right? Pretty much laying it, hey man, I've been good to black folk. They've made a lot of money off of me. And I'm going to tell you right now, man, I have really, really mixed emotions about this. First and foremost, as far as the extortion, I don't think that is extortion, unless by that you mean he's going to try to get a settlement out of Bob Arum to make the case go away. I don't know if he's going to get that out of Bob Arum. I'm not sure how strong his case is, honestly, because to me, it just seems from the outside looking in that it's kind of strange to wait to sue for breach of contract until the contract has expired until after it's pretty much been satisfied. Terence Crawford is on record as saying he only has a couple more fights left with Top Rank, right? And that he knew when the contract was going to be out. Also, you know, if he was feeling so bad about the relationship with Bob Arum and Top Rank, you know, why did you re-up multiple times for the contract when you had other places that you can go? Now, that's not me saying that I don't believe that Terence Crawford's promotion was terrible at Top Rank, and that Top Rank did not put their best foot forward to create, you know, to really put him in as good a position as he could have been in. That I'm not saying, because I think that is readily apparent that Top Rank did not do that for Terence Crawford. And it's readily apparent that they do not necessarily support black fighters to the extent that they do other fighters. That is what I see from the outside looking in. But the question just has to be, you know, with Terence Crawford specifically, man, you could have got out that contract multiple times. You could have went to the PBC. I'm sure the PBC would have signed you before that last contract was out. Eddie Hearn wanted to sign, if I recall correctly, Eddie Hearn wanted to sign him, you know, would have signed him for the zone at the time, you know, but he decided to stay there with Top Rank through multiple signings, right? To me, it just really sounds like it's going to be very, very hard for Terence Crawford to prove that he actually breached his contract. unless he's saying that he just refused to perform to the best of his ability, and he knowingly, limited him from opportunities, wouldn't allow him to have certain fights and all of that. It'd just be really interesting to hear exactly where the breach is and how that breach related to the black fighters. But Bob Arum saying that this is basically extortion. What do you expect Bob Arum to say, right? Bob Arum is going to point to all of the black fighters that he has, signed to him, right? And all the guys that he's been good friends with throughout the years. But if you really do look at the way that they're promoting these fighters at Top Rank, as somebody that really, I wouldn't call myself an expert on the promotion of boxing, but I will tell you without a doubt that I've been exposed to people when they have really tried to go out of their way to promote a fighter, like with Eddie Hearn and what Eddie Hearn does for Dillian White and what Eddie Hearn does did for Anthony Joshua. It's night and day between what, the amount of energy that Eddie Hearn puts behind his fighters and the amount of energy that Bob Arum put behind Terence Crawford. That network, ESPN, they never featured him as one of the top fighters in boxing. He always would talk about Terence Crawford like he was second fiddle to Vasily Lomachenko, third fiddle to Tyson Fury. So, I understand where Terence Crawford is coming from. But I've been looking at my comment sections on the video that I did when it first came out. And I'm telling you, man, it's really interesting to see how many people really do not care and are like, look, man, Bud made that bed. Bud got to lie in that bed. And it sounds kind of funny, you claiming this on your way out the door, right? But not when you were actually there, right? When you had an opportunity to say something about it by walking, before you renewed your contract, maybe the second time, right? But, it's going to be interesting, man, to see how this plays out. I will tell you something, though, for Terence Crawford's, from the viewpoint from just looking at Terence Crawford and what this means for Terence Crawford in his future. Well, you can flush that Josh Taylor fight down the toilet. That fight is not going to happen. And, just being a litigious person, it just, that never strikes well with people that you may want to sign a contract with moving forward. So, I understand where he's coming from, man, but more than likely Terence Crawford feels like he's been boxed into a corner. He's not getting offers from Matchroom. He's not getting, there's not, Errol Spence Jr. and Tim Smith saying, look, man, I don't even want to insult you by making an offer that's too low because of what, Bob Arum having not built you, enough in your career for you to really be a pay-per-view star. Man, it's just wild all the way around, man. But, fair warning to guys like Shakur Stevenson, guys like Jared Anderson, if they're not going to promote you in the way that they're promoting other people, man, once you get your name recognition to the point where you can actually shop yourself around to the other promoters, you may want to do that, man, because as much as I think, don't think very highly of Eddie Hearn, and as far as what he did with the Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder fight, you cannot say that he was asleep at the wheel. That he was asleep at the wheel as far as it goes with, promoting Dillian White and promoting Anthony Joshua. As far as Bob Arum may feel like, he's not done anything wrong, that he's been, that he has not been, racism hasn't had anything to do with the decisions that he's made. But, at the same time, man, he may really need to look a little bit more deeply in himself and see, hey, man, even though I'm not making these decisions consciously, is it playing out that way? Is it playing out that way, right? Are you really giving the same amount of attention and the same amount of promotional dollars to black fighters that you are giving to Eastern European fighters and Latino fighters? Are you really pushing them as hard as you are pushing these other fighters? And in the case of Terence Crawford, it is without a doubt, no, you did not do that. But is it breach of contract? I really don't know. And I'm looking forward to whenever they release the brief where you were able to actually read the whole thing. Be very interested to hear the argument about it. As far as it being a frivolous lawsuit, I can't speak to that either, but we'll see how it plays out. But anyway, that's my take on the circumstance. You let me know what you're thinking in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.